Hi everyone, welcome back to our Python for Data Analysis series. In this video, we are diving into world of object-oriented programming or OOPS. We will explore its key concepts with practical and relatable examples. So let's get started. Object-oriented programming is a powerful programming approach that models real-world entities using objects. Each object contains data in the form of attributes and behavior as methods. This allows us to organize and manage our code efficiently while aligning it closer to real world scenario. OOP is built on four foundational principles: encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. Let's briefly understand what each of these means. Think of encapsulation as a capsule that contains medicine. It binds everything together while keeping the internal contents secure. In OOP, encapsulation binds data and functions together in a class, which are called as attributes and method respectively, restricting direct access to some components for safety and clarity. Now let's see what is abstraction. Imagine driving a car. You only use the steering wheel, accelerator, and brakes to drive without worrying about how the engine or transmission works. Similarly, abstraction hides the internal complexity of codes and exposes only the essential functionality. Inheritance is like inheriting traits from your parents in OOP. A child class can inherit attributes and methods from a parent class, reducing code duplication and improving reusability. Polymorphism literally means many forms. For example, a single word can have different meanings based on context. In OOP, polymorphism allows different classes to define the same method in their own unique way, enabling flexibility and simplicity in the code. So, why do we use OOP? OOP enhances code organization and maintainability, making it perfect for large scale projects. It also facilitates code reuse and simplifies the modeling of real world scenarios into programming solutions. Before we jump into practical examples, let's understand some essential OOP terms. A class serves as a blueprint while objects are instances of this blueprint. Methods represent the action objects can perform, and attributes store the data associated with an object. Let's dive into practical examples to solidify our understanding of OOP concepts. I will first explain the code step by step and then we will see how it is connected to OOP principles. We start by defining a class bank account. Inside the init method, we initialize two attributes, owner and balance. The owner is a public attribute. We have made balance a private attribute by using double underscore before balance. The balance attribute is private, meaning it cannot be accessed directly from outside the class. Instead, we will create methods like deposit, withdraw, and get balance to interact with it. The deposit method checks if the amount is positive. If it is, the method adds it to the balance, otherwise it displays an error message. The withdraw method here ensures that the withdrawal amount does not exceed the current balance. If it does, it prints insufficient funds. Otherwise, it deducts the amount from the balance. The getBalance method here provides controlled access to the private balance attribute, returning the current balance. Next, we define a saving accounts class that inherits properties from bank account. It adds a new attribute interest rate and introduces a method calculate interest, which calculates the interest based on the current balance. Now let's see how this code implements OOP principles. The balance attribute is private here and we access it through methods like deposit, withdraw and get balance. This encapsulates the data, ensuring it is not directly modified from outside the class. The saving account class inherits from the bank account class. It reuses the functionality of the parent class and extends it with the interest rate attribute and calculate interest method. If we were to define a method that works with both bank account and saving account objects, it would demonstrate polymorphism. For instance, the getBalance method works seamlessly for both types of account. That's it for this demo. As you can see, OOP makes it easier to build modular, reusable and maintainable code. Try creating your own classes or extending this example to reinforce these concepts. Happy coding! In the next video, we will see file handling in Python. We will dive deeper into how we can read, write, or manipulate files in Python. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to share with anyone who is interested in learning Python. Thank you and Jai Hind.